threw my bags into the trunk at dawn, left the key beneath the mat and moved along. Didn't say a word to anyone I knew, just pointed at the highway and drove through. The radio kept finding songs that stung, all the good ones from when we were young. So I turned it off and let the engine speak, the only honest voice I've had all week. But the miles don't erase what the memory keeps. The open road cannot run what's buried deep. I've been driving since the morning, still no closer to the version of myself from before you. Miles of empty road, and I still feel the weight. Miles of empty road, but I can't outrun fate. Every white line passing, every small town crossed, still miles of empty road and everything I lost. Stopped at some motel in Tennessee, paid cash and didn't give my real name free. Sat beside the window in the dark, listening to the highway in my heart. The trucker in the next room had his TV on, something about love that had gone wrong. I almost knocked to tell him that I understood, that some things sound better understood. But strangers don't need strangers and their grief. Broken men don't always find relief in talking. Sometimes silence is the only road that bears the full and terrible weight of a load. Miles of empty road, just the engine and the night. Miles of empty road, no destination right. Every exit number, every county line, still miles of empty road, still yours, still mine. Somewhere past the Georgia line, the sky turned pink and golden fine. And for one honest moment in that light, everything felt bearable and right. I pulled over at the shoulder of the world, watched the sun come up slow and unfurl. And I thought maybe distance isn't the answer, but standing still was killing me back there. So I'll drive until the driving teaches something, until the road runs out of road to give. Because motion is the only kind of prayer that a man like me knows how to live. Miles of empty road, but I'm still moving through. Miles of empty road, still I'm standing at the platform, holding on to fight against the tide of everything that says let go, against the voice inside that says you have to know. When something's over, it is over and it's done. But every nerve inside me screams you are the one I build my every waking dream around, the one whose absence is the loudest kind of sound. I know what all the reasonable voices say, I know the dawn is coming for this night, but reason never loved you the way I do, and reason never held you in this light. So I'm asking for one more hour, one more chance to feel this real, one more moment standing at the edge of everything I know is true. Hold on to the night, don't let the morning take you yet. Hold on to the night, too beautiful to just forget. Every star above us, every breath we share. Hold on to the night, like love was never meant to fade, like hearts were never meant to break. Hold on, hold on to the night. I've written out the speech 100 times, the one where I'm mature and say it's fine. But standing here I can't remember words that sound more hollow than the truth I've heard. 'Cause you were every summer I have known, that you were every place that felt like home, that somewhere in the years between us both I stopped being a man and became yours. And now you're standing at the edge of going, and I am standing at the edge of gone, and somewhere in the middle of this ending I'm trying to remember how to be strong. But strong is overrated in the darkness, and pride is just a word meant safe for fear. So I'm laying down the armor and the distance and saying everything while you're still here. Hold on to the night, don't let the morning take you yet. Hold on to the night, too beautiful to just forget. Every star above us, every breath we share. Hold on to the night, like love was never meant to fade, like hearts were never meant to break. Hold on, hold on to the night. Maybe love is not about the holding, maybe love is not about the staying, maybe love is standing in the last light and giving everything away. Everything you kept, everything you saved, everything you carried to this moment. Lay it down, lay it all down. Here at the edge of everything we made, because the night won't last, and we both know it. Because the morning comes for every soul, but what we did here in this darkness was the bravest and most beautiful we'll ever know. need to make this right. I've watched you from across this darkened room all week, a dangerous and beautiful kind of mystique. The cigarette smoke curls up to the ceiling slow, and everything about this night says don't let go of reason, of the careful life I built with care. But reason doesn't live when you are standing there. There's a storm that's been gathering since you walked through that door. There's a pull that I've never in my life felt before, and the rain on the window keeps the time like a warning that some nights don't survive until the morning. Shadows in neon, that's where we live tonight. Shadows in neon, between the wrong and right. The city lights are bleeding, and the rain won't stop. In the shadows and neon is where I lost my heart to you, only to you. You smiled across the room and something ancient woke, some fire underneath the careful life I spoke about in daylight, reasonable and measured and safe. But safety is a country I have left for this place. Your voice was low and slow and filled with something real, the kind of voice that makes a man admit to feel. And I leaned in across the table in the dark and let you read the whole unguarded map of my heart. Outside, the city drowns in its own beautiful rain, and we are in this amber light suspended in the flame of something that we both know has no easy ending. But endings never stop the heart from loving or from bending. Shadows and neon, that's all we need tonight. Shadows and neon, to make the darkness right. The city keeps on weeping, but we don't mind the cost. In the shadows and neon, I found what I had lost in you. All of it in you. Maybe this is reckless, maybe this is wrong. Maybe all the careful people were careful all along, for a reason I can't see from where I'm standing now. With your hands around my reason and your eyes around my vow to be the man who didn't burn, who didn't reach too far. But burning feels like living, and you're every star that I told myself was too far up to touch. That I told myself in the dark. I've walked through desert heat and mountain cold. I've seen the places where the young grow old. I've chased the sunset to the other side and found that every sunset leads to you inside. You photograph us crossed 1,000 miles inside my jacket next to every trial. A worn and faded corner creased with time. The only map I've needed, you are mine. They said the distance was too great to cross. They said some loves can't carry all that cost. They measured everything in miles and years, and I just smiled and wiped away their tears, because they never felt what I have felt. They never held a hand that made me melt. They never had a reason like you give to do the impossible and live. I would cross the world for you, through every storm and ocean wide. I would cross the world for you, through every dark and mountain high. There is no road too long, no sea too wide to swim. I would cross the world, I would burn it down and cross the world again and again for you. The telephone would ring at 3 a.m. Your voice so small across the miles, and then I'd lay there listening to you breathe and know that home was just a voice, and that's enough to go. I've slept in stations, terminals, and cars, beneath 100 different sets of stars. But every ceiling that I've stared up through had your name written in the dark where no one knew. The world said find someone a little closer. The world said love should be more practical. But practical is what you choose when you don't know yet what it means to feel this radical. This radical and raw and overwhelming. This absolutely certain and on fire. This thing that makes the impossible seem simple. This thing that makes a man a little higher. I would cross the world for you, through every storm and ocean wide. I would cross the world for you, through every dark and mountain high. There is no road too long, no sea too wide to swim. I would cross the world, I would burn it down seen the places where the young grow old. I've chased the sunset to the other side, and found that every sunset leads to you inside. Your photograph has crossed 1,000 miles. Inside my jacket next to every trial. The clock says 2, but my body says forever. The ceiling has become my closest friend tonight. I've turned the pillow 17 times over, and none of them have made the wanting right. The rain is at the window like a messenger, tapping out a code I almost understand. And all the code is saying is your name again, in every drop that hits the glass and runs. I've been here before in other midnights. I've been restless for 100 different reasons, but this particular restless has your fingerprints on every thought, and nothing in my arsenal of sleep has worked against it. Rain against the glass is the sound of wanting you. Rain against the glass is every midnight truth. Every thought I think at 2 a.m. has your name somewhere inside it. Rain against the glass is the only voice I trust when it comes to you. When it comes to you, it always comes to you. I've had this conversation with myself before, the one where I decide that I should say what I have been collecting in the quiet for the longest and most restless nights away. But morning always makes it seem excessive. Morning makes the wanting look like weakness. turn over in your sleep, and somehow in the quiet know that someone in the city, in a dark apartment, in the second hour after midnight, is completely and without apology awake because of you, because of the way you laughed last Tuesday, because of the way you said my name like it was something you enjoyed the shape of in your mouth, because of 1,000 ordinary reasons that add up to one extraordinary, unbearable, beautiful thing. Rain against the glass, I am done pretending this is sleep. Rain against the glass, this is the vigil that I keep for every feeling I've been careful with, for every word I swallow. Rain against the glass, it's every night I've spent with nothing but your name between me and the dark, between me and the morning, between me and the ordinary life. I live without you, without you, without you. Rain against the glass. Tonight is saying everything I should have said to you. The clock says 2, but my body says forever. The ceiling has become my closest friend tonight. I've turned the pillow 17 times over, and none of them have made the wanting right. I'm standing at the crossroads of the life I had, and the life I'm supposed to want by now. One road leads back to everything we shared. One road leads away, I don't know how. To choose between the gravity of memory and the open sky of something new. So I've been standing halfway in the darkness, halfway in the morning, halfway between me and you. The birds have started singing, and town I didn't know. 3 rings and then I hung up. Couldn't let you know that I was that close and still that far away. That I had 100 things I couldn't say. Like how I missed the way you burned the toast, and how you laughed about it with the most unguarded joy I've ever seen a person wear. God, I miss that laugh. I miss that laugh beyond repair. And now I'm in this diner at a corner table small, watching strangers live their lives inside these walls. And every couple here looks like we used to be before the halfway swallowed all of me. I'm halfway home, but I don't know which home I mean. Halfway home, in the space between your voice and all this silence, your warmth and all this cold. I'm halfway home, but halfway's getting old. Getting old. What does home mean when the place you built it doesn't hold you anymore? What does moving on mean when every step you take forward feels like closing one more door on something that deserved to stay open, that deserved to be more? party's winding down and people start to leave. The room grows thin with coats and keys and things retrieved. And then across the emptying and amber-lit expanse, I find you standing there, and suddenly there's nothing left to chance. Because some moments have a gravity all their own. Some eyes across the room can make you feel less alone than 20 years of being fine and managing and right. And I found that kind of moment in your eyes tonight. I don't know your name yet, but I know your face was made for exactly this kind of late and amber-lit and rain outside the window kind of night. I don't know your story yet, but I know I want to, in the way that you want something that you know will change the shape of all your life. There's a midnight in your eyes that I wanna get lost in tonight. There's a midnight in your eyes that makes everything right. Every shadow, every secret, every dark and lovely thing. There's a midnight in your eyes, and I wanna know what morning means when I've been lost in you all night, in you all night. You tilted your head when I finally crossed the room, like you had been expecting me to come there soon. Like this was something both of us had known before it happened, before either of us had even spoken. You said my name the way that names are meant to sound when they are found by someone who has finally found the person that the name belongs to, whole and clear. Then I said yours back slowly just to keep it here. people start to leave, the room grows thin with coats and keys and things retrieved. And then across the emptying and embedded expanse, I find you standing. Standing at the edge of giving up, I see the weight has filled you to the cup. I see the way your eyes have lost their fire, and how the road has taken something higher than you thought you'd ever have to pay for being who you are from day to day. But I have seen you at your absolute most brilliant and most beautifully acute, and I refuse to watch you disappear into the gray of someone else's fear. I refuse to let the story end this way, with everything you are just fading gray. Rise with me tonight, above the doubt and all the pain tonight, and let the stars know your name. You were built for more than this, more than breaking in the dark. And show the world the fire in your heart. The fire in your heart. I know the nights have been your enemy. I know the mirror's been unkind to see. I know you've talked yourself into the ground until the silence was the only sound. But silence is a liar wearing truth, and tired is not permanent, it's just a bruise. And every single person who became someone extraordinary felt this same. You think the world has moved beyond your reach. You think the things you want are past the breach. But I am standing here with both hands out, ready to be proven wrong about your doubt. Rise with me tonight. Don't let the darkness win the war. Me tonight. That's what the darkness is there for, to make the rising sweeter, to make the light more real. Rise with me tonight. And let me show you how it feels to be alive, to actually feel I have been where you are standing. I have stood at this exact edge and looked out over all that nothing, and felt the pull beyond the ledge. And what brought me back was someone standing close enough to say, you are not finished, you are not done, you are not the worst of what today has made you feel. was for me. Rise up! Rise up! Rise Rise with me tonight. The whole world needs your light. Rise with me tonight. You were born to burn this bright. Every scar you carry, every fall you've known. Rise with me tonight. You were never meant to rise alone. Never meant to rise alone. Take my hand, and rise. Rise, rise with me. Rise with me tonight. Tonight. Rise. I see you standing at the edge of giving up. I see the weight has filled you to the cup. I see the way your eyes have lost their fire, and how the road has taken something higher than you thought you'd ever have to pay for being who you are from day to day. But I have seen you at your absolute most brilliant and most beautifully acute. And I refuse to watch you disappear into the gray of someone else's fear. I refuse to let the story end this way, with everything you are just fading gray. Rise with me tonight. Everyone around me said to walk away, that you were all the colors of a stormy day, that loving you was standing at the edge of something high, and looking down and choosing not to ask the reason why. But I have always had a weakness for the beautiful and dark, for the kind of love that leaves a lasting mark, for the kind of fire that burns your hand if you reach in. And I have always been the kind to reach, so I begin. They showed me all the evidence, the pattern and the proof. They laid it out so clearly on the table. They said, here is your truth. And I looked at all the reasons to be careful and afraid, and I looked at you across the room, and all the reasons faded. shift, when something in you breaks, the way the storm inside you gathers and it takes everything around you in its unpredictable wide path. And I've seen the aftermath, but I have also seen the quiet after every storm, when you are soft and sorry and impossibly warm. When you look at me like I am the only stable thing, and I would face 1,000 storms for what that morning brings. Maybe I'm the fool that every cautious person sees. Maybe I am reaching for a fire in the trees, but what they call destruction I have learned to call alive. And I would rather burn with you than carefully survive. You are the beautiful, dangerous. Every risk I choose to take. You are the beautiful, dangerous. Every scar a mark you make, and the scars are proof of living, not the proof of being wrong. You are the beautiful, dangerous, and I am exactly where I belong. Right here, right here, in the fire, right here. I know what you are, you know what you are. We have never been dishonest about the shape of this particular star. It burns bright, it burns fast, it burns with all the colors that the careful stars don't have. And I would rather have this burning for whatever time it lasts, than the long gray life of someone who was always too afraid to ask what it felt like to love something that could love them back so completely, so dangerously, so absolutely, so beautifully, without a mouth. Without a mouth. You are the beautiful, dangerous, and I have made my peace. You are the beautiful, dangerous, and I have found my release. Oh, from every careful distance, from every guarded door. You are the beautiful, dangerous, and I don't want to be careful anymore. I don't want to be safe anymore. I just want to be yours, dangerous. Dangerous, forever yours. Everyone around me said to walk away, that you were all the colors of a stormy day. The love in you was standing at the edge of something high, looking down and choosing not to ask the reason why. But I've always had a weakness for the beautiful and dark, for the kind of love that leaves a lasting mark. You were light through colored glass, and I was smoke-filled room. Two things that don't belong together, everyone could see. But belonging never stopped you reaching out for me. Your hands were clean and mine was stained with every road I'd run. You believed in something holy, I believed in none. But somehow in the middle of our broken difference, we built something that I'd swear to before any witness. I've been in cathedrals and I've been in gutters. I've seen the best of man reduced to mumbles and shudders. But nothing I have witnessed in this long and ragged life moved me like the morning you decided to be mine. Smoking stained glass, that's what we were. Smoking stained glass, and the world just blurred. The holy and the broken finding common ground. Smoking stained glass, the most beautiful sound of two lives colliding on sacred and scarred. Smoking stained glass, two worlds, one heart. The congregation whispered and the neighbors shook their heads. Two people, too different to be sharing prayers and beds. But we were something that the careful world can't understand. The fire and the water and the sea becoming land. You taught me how to sit still in the early morning light. I taught you that the darkness has its own kind of right. And somewhere in the teaching we forgot to be afraid of all the beautiful impossible we'd made. I've been running from the righteous and the righteous thing to do. But nothing felt more righteous than the life I built with you. So call it what you want to, call it foolish, call it strange. I call it the one miracle that didn't need explaining. Smoking stained glass, that's what we were. Smoking stained glass, and the world just blurred. The holy and the broken finding common ground. Smoking stained glass, the most beautiful sound